I'm going to just sort of go through the traits of a Machiavellian person. And this is going off of, I just have an article in front of me. It's from Very Well Mind. I'm certain I can probably pull up a million other articles that say the same thing in different ways, but these are just some traits. And I'm curious, as I go through these, what we think about them with regard to coaching. So focusing only on their own goals and interests.
So as far as coaching goes, it sounds great. It's like, okay, we're working with goals. But in terms of like going further in coaching, like there's a certain point where if you want to improve, you have to coach the person, not the problem. And you're shifting from goal-oriented coaching to person-oriented coaching. So that hyper-focus on goals is only going to get you so far.
Which is funny because it's one of those things that has given coaches a bad name. It's something that J.K. Rowling, I think, railed on coaches about because she doesn't really know. She's never been coached, really. So she only knows her understanding coaching comes from a service level, right? So from what she's heard and what her impression is. And that is sort of an impression that coaches get, is that we're just goal oriented and we're pushing people to be goal oriented. And it's not, it almost feels when coaching is displayed like that we are less empathetic, right? We just are pushing people, regardless of what is good for them, towards goals and setting goals. And it's kind of this very flippant, and almost very glossed over impression of what coaching is. It really is not true, but it's something to think about as we discuss this, that these are the kind of things that have been thrown around with regard to coaching by other people.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And Anthony, you yourself, if I remember correctly, used to have a poor perception of coaching prior to taking our classes. Isn't that correct?
I still do.
I was just going to say, you're setting it up because you know what he's going to answer.
Yeah, I'm talking about the coaching industry as a whole, not the International Coaching Federation. I learned that there's a difference now, but still, there's a lot of coaches out there who still give coaching a bad name because of those reasons.
I watched briefly that one show that you, Brooke, and Anthony watched, and were abhorred that they're calling themselves coaches.
Oh my God.
The Twin Soul people.
Yeah, the further you get into that, the worse. It just gets worse. It's painful. Your toes curl. So the next trait sort of coming up is prioritizing success, power, money, and fame above all else.
Okay. So those are fine goals to have. I'm not going to harp on that if that's what you want. It's the fact that people will link like fulfillment or self-actualization to those goals. I don't see a reason why one leads to the other. If you want power and fame and money, go ahead. Don't think it's going to make you happy or fulfilled.
Do you think this is something that coaches do?
Yes, they'll promise that. Especially to like the CEO, executive, business coaches who are also like coaching other people.
The coaches that are coaching other coaches. Yeah.
I think the untrained ones. I think if you have been trained and you still choose to go down that path, then you're not a coach, right? You're just not coaching.
Mm-hmm. Millionaires talk to psychiatrists too. True story. Having no qualms about deceiving or lying to others.
Oh.
No.
We're asking if this is a trait of coaches, right? Or a common trait? I missed the beginning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're just sort of seeing if any of these apply to coaching. I know that's a hard no, but I do have just playing the devil's advocate here.
So this one, to me, what stands out is when a coach uses marketing tactics that are not able to be validated. So like, I only have one slot left. Meanwhile, I have like 20. Yeah. You know what I mean? How is the person supposed to know? I create that sense of urgency and I don't care because it's about to put money in my pocket. It's about to get me a client.
Or
that concerns me.
Coaches who, I've seen this happen all the time. Are saying that they make, 7 figures, And they give you the impression that it was they had a degree of success. It was their coaching business that got them to that, when in fact a great deal of the time it's not to do with their coaching business. They're actually hinging the success on their prior business, and utilizing that. And they've since become a coach and are now sort of blurring those lines, and then promising to do the same for others, and in a field that maybe they have no idea how to be successful in 100%. And I've seen this firsthand quite a bit. Coaching coaches who coach other coaches. Yeah.
What if I'm a client who wants to use lying in my sessions to achieve my goals?
That's your prerogative.
I'm not sure how you would be successful.
Well, hold on. Let I want someone to
There
coach
is
me.
kind of there is kind of a fuzzy line here, though, truthfully, because
I want someone to coach me on something very quickly. So someone want to be my coach.
okay, sure.
I want to get a job at a very exclusive company. They're looking for a project director manager, but they require that I have a master's degree. And I want to try to get that job. I'm thinking that I should forge a master's degree from like an institution of higher education, because I'm pretty good at doing that. And most of these places don't really check anyways. And if I get the job, then I win, and they can check later, and maybe I'll get fired. But I think it's in my best interest, since I have all this other experience and background, that I forge the master's. What do you think?
As a client, I don't think anyone wants.
What I think really doesn't matter in this situation. Okay. This is about you, Anthony. So
yeah, good job.
Cool. I'll do that now.
Tell me, or Chuckleface, tell me what you what the goal of this session right now is.
Well, I want to make sure that I'm, hitting all my bases with this application, that I'm going to take the time to forge this document, make sure it's, a perfect replica of a master's degree from, I don't know, let's say Stanford. I'm not going to go crazy and say Harvard or Harvard. I'll step it back a little bit. So I want to make sure that I take the time to do this right.
What I'm hearing you say is you want to figure out that you want to take this session to figure out if you are filling out this application correctly.
Yep.
What does that look like in the bounds of this session?
So just, making a list of things that I need to do in regards to my actual resume versus the stuff I need to fabricate. Okay,
so you want to create a list.
Yep.
All right. Well, what's the first thing on that list?
It's probably I already kind of have a resume. It needs updating. I think I need to start working on the fabrication of a master's degree.
Okay. So, we can keep going, and I could try to get behind it, but we all know this is like a fake coaching situation. But
wait, can I ask a question to Anthony that I would have asked immediately?
Yeah.
Anthony, is that an action that feels like it's in alignment with your values?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay. I knew that.
Then I would probably keep coaching.
Yeah, I would too. Like, I'm not gonna, honestly,
who am I to judge?
I'm not gonna judge.
That gets real. I'm out of the coaching session now. That's real interesting.
Yeah. Well,
because I don't know as a coach if that's illegal or not.
It is legal. I think
it's legal. I'm not going to get in trouble with it, but it seems very.
But it's not your actions or your actions, and it's really on the company to figure out. Interview you. There's all these steps. You're going to have to live with the consequences of your decision, whatever that may be, and however it comes out. It's not outright breaking the law.
And I would. So what you're saying is accurate. However, I'm going to go to it's beyond my scope of practice for me, because I don't want to coach that.